Percent. Guys, all right. Today seems like a great day to talk about fascism. Let's get into fascism. Now, what is fascism? Fascism is a political ideology that rejects Enlightenment thinkings and the ideas that we are all created equal in support of a massive dependency on hierarchy. Wikipedia is a great place to learn about political ideologies. Far right, ultranationalism, dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, as well as strong regimentation of society of the economy, which came to prominence in early 20th century Europe. So here is America. I wish I had like a way to like, you know, Vosh. I don't want to copy Vosh, but he does like Microsoft Paint. I wish I could do something like that. I wish I had some way to describe this. Oh, of course, the destruction of the 9/11 memorial was bullshit. Propaganda. Okay. Yeah, I'm so mad felons can't vote. That's another huge problem. Which then, again, disproportionately targets black people because black people are disproportionately criminals. But we don't have time to unpack all of that. PowerPoint or like, go to my Google Drive. New Google Drawings. Let's make a Google drawing. All right. So fascism needs a triangle. Let me get two triangles. All right, two triangles. One is let's have one be called fascism. The fascism triangle, super rigid, super easy to understand. Oh God, I want to be able to draw. At the top, let's just break it down real quick. Oh God. Oh man. Why can't I just like have like a... What is happening? I hate this. Cool. Guys, this is my triangle. The way you hold that bothers me so much. What am I... Oh, that can. And then let's make this one over here. I'll surprise you guys with what this triangle is. All right. Wow, my lines are horrible. Cool. This is my fascism triangle. So let's look at our best form of fascism. I'm not gonna fix the line. You're gonna suck it up. So our original... Oh man, I wish there was a better way to do this. Can I like color stuff in? Probably not. Or just like a scribble. So up here, they had white Aryans. And then, obviously, everything else underneath. At the bottom, like Jews, gays. And that's how it worked. But for fascism to work, they needed... You guys can stop complaining in chat, okay? This is a free lesson. Should use publisher. The way you create a line, just hold down shift to straighten it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, suck it up. It requires a strict belief in hierarchy. So the people up here will always believe that they're better than the people down here, who will always believe that they're better than the people down here, who will always believe that they're better than the people down here. The people down here, they end up getting gassed at the end. Over here, we got the hierarchy of capitalism. So all up here, it's like white people. That's horrible. white people. At the bottom is Jews. Over here, we have the billionaires. Big bucks. Right? You make money, you go on top. I'm gay. I don't mind not straight lines. Good, I'm glad. And then you have people who are not really billionaires, but they're wealthy. Upper middle class, upper class, upper middle, or upper middle slash, let's add another line. Middle, that's not an M. Middle. Sure, and then over here, lower class, and then here's like just dirt poor. Like homeless. So basically, everyone up here knows that they're better than everyone down here, who knows that they're better than everyone down here, who knows that they're better than, or not better than, but hey, at least I'm not down here. And then the people who live in poverty are like, well, at least I still have a house. You know, that's how that works. So you notice that there's a huge correlation between the hierarchy of fascism and the hierarchy of capitalism, and it needs that hierarchy to work. Both of them need that hierarchy, right? Because the people up here can't have all their money if they don't exploit the people down here, right? That is an essential part of capitalism. Now, something else you'll notice about our triangle is that normally people down here are less white than the people up here, whiter. So you can see how people draw strong correlations on how capitalism and the hierarchy that it requires in many ways is similar to the hierarchy that fascism requires. But that's just the hierarchy, because the mindset is incredibly different, because there are many liberals up here that believe, like Elon Musk, for example, that he's a liberal. He's not a fascist. He's definitely not a fascist. I don't think Elon Musk is a fascist. I think Mark Zuckerberg's a fascist. I don't think they're great people. But they have a lot of money. I remember I'm a huge fan of Tesla, which is really sad, and I found this information out after my family purchased a Tesla. And I was really upset when I discovered this, but apparently he fully believed that COVID was a hoax, and he sent his workers back very, very early. Donald Trump 2021 just joined my stream. So capitalism is fascist? No, it's really not. But there's a lot of like academics who believe that late stage capitalism can lead and fall into fascism very easily, because late stage capitalism is when we see the breakdown of capitalism, and then we see dissent rising, and we see people getting angry at the system. The economy will not be able to stay that strong because it requires people to suffer in order for it to work. This shirt, who made this? Calvin Klein? This is a Calvin Klein shirt. I guarantee you. Actually, I don't know specifically Calvin Klein, but I know that a lot of clothing companies will send their factories overseas to sweatshops, because they need to exploit workers in order to make the profits that they are making. That is just a fact. You cannot become a billionaire and pay people $15 an hour. Do I support communism? I'm not really sure I can answer that. I support Karl Marx. I support socialism. I'm not necessarily well educated enough on the differences between socialism and capitalism. So I don't feel comfortable really giving my 2 cents. Okay, now let's go to Umberto Eco. 14 signs of fascism. I feel bad now. Oh, yeah, Calvin Klein underwear, Calvin Klein shirt, they're comfy. I feel very bad for the little boys and girls who are forced to support their family by working in sweatshops. Makes me sad. I won't even lie. Damn it. Now I feel bad. But they shouldn't though. They shouldn't what? Alana. Yeah. Tommy Hilfiger is honestly like just a shitty person. My mom had a friend who was a higher up at Tommy, and the actual guy, Tommy Hilfiger, was just like fucking rude to her and like sexist. Don't mind me. Oh. Yeah, so look, capitalism boosted America's economy when we founded America because we were able to own people. I can't speak. No, I'm saying you cannot physically make the amount of income you're making if you don't exploit people. If you paid people $15 an hour, there'd be no way you could make that amount of money. Like, statistically speaking, the math doesn't make sense. Okay, you don't know. Yeah. I mean, I buy clothes because they're comfy and they're cheap, right? That's what capitalism is, but it is at the expense of child labor, which used to be slave labor, you know? As that's just the way it is. That's what capitalism needs in order to work. It needs people at the bottom who are just trying to get by. All right, let's talk about Umberto Eco and his 14 points of capitalism. Not capitalism, oh my god, fascism. Oops. How many cans do you have? A lot. I'm thirsty when I'm talk and when I'm on Vyvanse. I got very thirsty. I hope you enjoyed. Can you name some businesses that exploit people? I can find a master list. It shouldn't be that hard. But I'll try to make a list. The best thing you can do right now at home is to not spend money on new clothes, because like if you have like a Calvin Klein shirt right now that you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to wear Calvin Klein because they exploit their workers, you should keep wearing it, because at that point the deed's already done. Just don't support them in the future, you know? There's no point unless you donate it to people. I would really support that if you decide to donate all your clothes. That's great and all, but don't just throw them out because, you know, we love ASMR. You guys don't even get the real ASMR on TikTok. Go to YouTube if you want the real ASMR. All right. How much Vyvanse do you take? 50 milligrams. All right. We're talking about fascism. I can't focus when I have so many streams going on. Everyone on TikTok, you have 5 minutes to get to YouTube if you want to keep watching, or else I'm ending the stream. The YouTube is the Insta link in my TikTok bio. Just click on the Insta icon and you should go to my YouTube channel. Anyways, if you do that in the next 3 minutes, I'd appreciate it. And then I will end the TikTok stream because my battery's gonna die. Sorry that I made you uncomfortable. That's what the Vyvanse is for. I mean, so I can focus. But I'm really struggling to focus because I have so many tabs open. And I want TikTok to be closed. So, TikTok, go to YouTube. Alright. The cult of tradition. One has only to look at the syllabus of every fascist movement to find the major traditionalist thinker. The Nazi was nourished by traditionalist syncretists and occult elements. Genuinely don't know what anything he just said means, but let's go to Wikipedia because they do a better job of breaking it down. All right. So that's basically the cult of tradition, characterized by cultural is combining of different beliefs while blending practices of various schools of thought. Syncretism involves merging of assimilation of several originally traditions, especially the theology and mythology of religion. Thus, yeah. So fascists believe in a time we're talking about fascism in a time like way before the Enlightenment, and honor like their mythic like bearded like Viking ancestors. That's who they idolize, and they want to go back to that time. And fascism is about rebirth and ultranationalism. It's about saying we fucked up, we've gone too far, we need to burn everything and restart with our race at the top. So that's what cult of tradition really means. When all truth has already been revealed by tradition, no new learning can occur, only further interpretation and refinement. Exactly. All right, the rejection of modernism. Basically, modernism is at the time after the Enlightenment. Yeah, I think that modernism refers to like the period after the Enlightenment era, where we decided that the feudal system no longer works, and we came to the conclusion that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Obviously, to be a fascist, you need to reject that idea because you have to have groups of people being oppressed and killed. So the Republican Party very often rejects the Enlightenment ideas, because the Enlightenment ideas, a lot of people believe that socialism is the next step. So right, capitalism was the first like baby steps out of, and the free market out of the Enlightenment. So saying like everything is free, blah 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 blah. But socialism is a step after that ensures that everyone will be on an equal playing field. Eco distinguishes this from a rejection of superficial technology advancement. Many fascists, right? Exactly. So it's not saying they don't necessarily reject science, in some senses, because they like their guns, but they reject Enlightenment ideas because a fascist doesn't like if everyone's equal. All right. Number 3, the cult of action for action's sake, which dictates that action is of value in itself and should be taken without intellectual reflection. Basically, irrationality, they anti-intellectual, and other manifests on text and modern culture and science. This just means that they talk about it later, but the what's it called? Like, the life has to be a constant struggle for fascists. You know? Life has to be a constant struggle for a fascist because they believe that everyone is always against them. So they act for action's sake without any thought behind it, any rational thought. I don't know if it talks about anti-intellectualism after, but that is a big one. They actively deny science and academia. And you know what's interesting? Why is it that conservatives so strongly oppose academia? Because they claim it's a there's a conspiracy that all of academia is left-leaning and is trying to push this liberal agenda, when in reality that is not the case. It's just that the more you learn, the more you realize that there is an equality, and the better suited you are to become a leftist. So fascists actively try to discredit science, and if you've paid attention, you will see that our current administration is actively attempting to invalidate, I guess, or attack Dr. Fauci. I'm ending the TikTok stream, by the way. Actively trying to discredit Dr. Fauci because they reject science and they're anti-intellectual. Right? All right. Disagreement is treason. This is very scary. It states that anyone who opposes is treasonous. You see our president talk about you see our president use this language all the time, especially on his 4th of July speech. He called us the enemy because we disagreed and we weren't patriotic. Dr. Fauci probably will go down as a hero. Yeah, enlightenment, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and directly inspired the writing of our Constitution that gave us our Constitution, and more directly our Declaration of Independence, which claims that in order to be accountable to the Enlightenment, we have to react and fight against an oppressive government and system, which is what we're doing right now. Anyways, disagreement is treason, terrifying. They ignore intellectual discourse and critical reasoning. It's barriers to action, and as well as out of fear that such analysis will expose the contradictions embodied in their faith. And I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you'll see this happen all the time when trying to have a conversation with someone. If they end it with Trump 2020, they put up a barrier saying that, well, I don't need to listen to you because you disagree or you're treasonous, and I don't need to let your words impact me because they hold no value. And if I do accept them and I listen and I do research, it will expose all the contradictions in their belief. Fear of difference, appeal against foreigners and immigrants. Obviously, they want an ethno-state, so anyone who's not like them is against them. They're terrified of that. I don't need to talk much about how our administration promotes this idea, often in the form of racism, appeal against foreigners. We all know very well what's going on there. Appeal to a frustrated middle class. Appeal, key word. Not actually help, but appeal. Fascism rises in economic strife. That's what happened in Europe, in Germany. And it's very funny to me when people defend all of Trump's actions with the excuse, yeah, but the economy though, which usually will never directly impact their lives, but they don't know any better. Obsession with a plot and hyping up an enemy threat. So this is very interesting. They need a good story. Their attention spans are very short. So they really need like a good like America First storyline to follow. And at the end of the day, what was I saying? They need something like a scapegoat, basically. I love AOC. It's so funny. Yeah, New World Order as a prominent example of plot obsession. Because those books are easy to follow. You don't need to think that hard. You don't need to be rational to believe in conspiracies like this. All of it, it lines up directly. And Trump does a good job of not promoting or not, Trump pushes conspiracy theories out into the world, but he does it in a way that doesn't directly tie him to being the cause of them. He just asks, he said, well, some people are saying that masks can potentially make you sick, right? That's what it is. Yeah, we're looking at the 14 Points of Fascism by Umberto Eco. So that is just an example, a plot, and believing in conspiracy theories. This one's really, really cool. Fascist societies rhetorically cast their enemies as at the same time too strong and too weak. Essentially, like the radical left will burn down your cities and destroy it. You can look at his most recent Trump ad. Trump anti-Biden ad. Let's look at this ad. Wrong ad. Nice. Whoa, chill with the advertise. Oh my god.
You have reached the 911 police emergency line. Due to defunding of the police department, we're sorry, but no one is here to take your call. If you're calling to report a rape, please press 1. To report a murder, press 2. To report a home invasion, press 3. For all other crimes, leave your name and number, and someone will get back to you. Our estimated wait time is currently...
Yeah, you won't be safe in Joe Biden's America. You won't be safe, because Joe Biden's America is the greatest threat to the Western civilization you know and love. But at the same time, they call him Sleepy Joe and too stupid to get anything done and a do-nothing Democrat. So this is a beautiful example of, same time too strong and too weak, you know? Do you not have ad block? No, I don't. Yeah, he said Biden wants to abolish the suburbs. Biden's a huge threat to our democracy, but he's also Sleepy Joe and a do-nothing Democrat. But the left will take over and your children won't be safe. Which is another thing that we're gonna get to. Pacifism is trafficking with the enemy because life is permanent warfare. Yeah, basically, if you are not ready to die for your government, you're against it. No? That's what that means. You saw this a lot when people were like on Twitter, people freaking about COVID were like, I would sooner, I'm willing to lay down my life for this country to save its economy so my children can have a better future. Like, that is a beautiful, beautiful example of fascism. Makes me happy. Love it. Because they need to be in a constant state of fighting with something. Contempt for the weak, which is uncomfortably married to chauvinistic popular elitism, in which every member of society is superior to outsiders by virtue of belonging to the in-group. Yeah. Basically, it's like the us and them kind of idea. Like, we're us, but then there's them. If we go back to here, contentment for the weak, everyone in like the upper class is like, it's we're us right here. Everyone else weak. We don't need them. They're weak. They're just dragging us down, you know? That's blown up in fascism when it's based on ethnicity and race. And then you see this with a huge like, how would I describe, like, ultranationalism? They're like, America first, America's the greatest, no other countries like America. We saw this in the PragerU video yesterday. It's like, why I love America. It's like, because America gave her freedom to all other countries. And how after he traveled to 130 countries, he still came back to America and was like, yeah, America's the best. We love America. So that it's just funny to me because it proves that they push this ideology of like us and them. And that's what they need. Everyone is educated to become a hero, and along with the cult of death. Yeah, so, which leads to the embrace of cult of death, as Echo observes. The Eurofascist hero is impatient to die. In his impatience, he more frequently sends other people to death. This is kind of, there's like two ways to look at this, because there is kind of like that. Yeah.
Sorry, what are you up to?
Streaming.
Do you want to go swim/fish?
What time?
I'm gonna go buy fly fishing gear and then
I'll probably be done in like an hour and a half.
Oh, you guys want to just meet me there if you're gonna go?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
I see you.
So,
I'm gonna go fishing later. Everyone is educated to become a hero. Basically, like you are told that you're destined for greatness, right? If you join our movement, that's what is so appealing about the alt-right, because they scoop up kids who feel like everyone hates them, who feel like outcasts, and they let these kids into the us, and then train them to think that they will do something great. And then he more frequently sends other people to death. I don't fully understand what that means, but it's kind of like the promoting the fact that like no, it's honorable to die. Like you want to die for this cause. Like there's honor in death. Machismo, basically just like huge misogynism. That's my brother. That was my brother, guys. My dad or brother. Or son. Like just being misogynistic. And being like homophobic and whatnot. Which obviously comes from a deep-seated self-consciousness and fear. Selective populism. The people conceived monolithically have a common will distinct from and superior to the viewpoint of any individual. There's no mass of people can ever be truly unanimous. The leader holds himself. Oh yeah. So it's like populism. Yeah, that's my son. Populism. So being like, I'm one of you guys, but I'm just leading. Like, hey, like don't worry, like I'm not, because Trump obviously like, businessman, comes from money, born into wealth. He's like, I'm just like you guys. Like there's nothing between me. I'll be your spokesperson. But only for his base, which tend to be fascists and ultranationalists and white supremacists. He's like, I'll be your spokesperson. Like you are the population that I care about. Newspeak, fictional language of, oh yeah. Basically like, using like big words to confuse. What's that quote? Fascists, their goal isn't to convince, it's to discombobulate. That's what this means. It's they switch up their rhetoric all the time and often adopt leftist and progressive rhetoric because that fits well and that looks good on camera, and that's something they can get away with saying without literally exposing themselves for being fascists. That's why the Nazis were the National Socialists, whatever. That they took the word socialist, and because it looked good. It was good sounding. People liked socialism. They just took their words. You see it happening a lot with like cancel culture. That phrase became super mainstream. They also use it to promote dog whistles because like this never meant white power until the Nazis took it over. This was just like, yeah, okay, it's fine. But it got onto 4chan, and then the point of a dog whistle is to make it be able to accuse people of assuming it. So like if someone's like that's a Nazi dog whistle, and you're like, oh no, that's not a Nazi dog whistle, like what are you implying, blah 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 blah, you know. It's never to reason. In order to limit critical reasoning, is to discombobulate, to confuse, so no one knows exactly what their belief is and how they're operating. That, in a nutshell, is fascism. Please tell me we can watch you laugh at Tuk Tuk later. Yeah, we're moving on right now. Nationalism. Good shit. Oh, excuse me. Hey, I'm live right now. No way. What do we want to watch? Tucker Carlson responds to it. Intrusive. That's so loud. Is that too loud? That's too loud, guys. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Down a little bit. Tucker Carlson tonight. Well, we should talk about Portland later. Yeah, Portland is literally just fascist. what he's doing. It's incredibly totalitarian. NIST? I don't know. Let's look at him completely hey, it's the ad we were just talking about. Completely confuse. Have no idea what Biden actually wants.
The radical left-wing mob's agenda?
Shut up.
Defund the police.
Like,
Pressure more towns to follow, and Joe Biden stands with them.
see, guys? See? Same time too strong and too weak. And I'm sure in this Tucker Carlson segment, we will have him talking about how weak the left. Can the left lead a country they hate? See? Can the left lead a country they hate? What did I say about disagreement being reason or being treason?
Cutting police funding. Yes.